Greetings and salutations, my name is JW608 and today I am playing StarMade. And here we are going back to basics. And today I would like to talk about shields. So let's grab some shield blocks. There are two shield blocks you need to know about, the shield capacitor and the shield recharger. So let's pop those on our hotbar. You're also going to need reactors and stuff to power them, but that's not quite yet. Alright, to learn about your shields, on your left here, let's take out thrusters and power. Oh, I thought there was a shield thing here. There's not. Okay. I'll have to go to statistics. Or status. I'm sorry, status, not statistics. And shields. This particular ship has one active shield, no inactive shields, has 374 charge blocks and 625 capacity blocks. It gives the position of the shield, and that's relative to the ship, I believe. I've never actually checked it out or worked on it. Gives the capacity, that's its current HP, its max HP, its recharge, or its regen, if you will, the upkeep. This is the lowest regen you can have to keep the shields operational. Also, the radius of the shield's effectiveness, and capacity banks. You can have 20 capacity banks. We'll talk about that later. And here's the consumption. And with quick fire, resting and charging should always be the same, which this ship is using 20,570 energy per second just to have shields. All right. So, where are these shields? I forget where they are in this vessel. If you don't remember where they are, you can, well, I guess you're just stuck. Let's see, those are... It's been a while since I built this thing. I don't know where the shields are. Huh. I thought it highlighted them when I did that. It doesn't. But you do notice when I have a shield block in my hand, I have this cool bubble here. Let me explain the bubble. The bubble is generated by the shield recharger. And when we actually build a shield, we'll see how that works. And it is not the shield. This is not the shield. This is, I will call it the shield bubble, but it is not a shield. Remember in Star Wars Episode 1, at the epic battle at the end where the Great Gungan Army, or the Grand Gungan Army, went against the Trade Federation, and they had those shield bubbles. That is not like this. Don't think like that. You know, then they couldn't shoot it. The droids had to walk through. No, this is an area of effect. So, that means that every block within this bubble is shielded. So this block right here is shielded. This one in here, that block right there is shielded. In fact, let's hop out and let's go back into normal mode and grab my laser pistol. And I want some gravity. If I shoot that block, see, my shield array went off. That's because that block is shielded. I can shoot it all day long. This pistol will never get through this shield. Every time you hit a block that's shielded, you should get this cool shield reactor thing. So, and generally speaking, handheld weapons will not penetrate a decent shield. That's not always true. Sometimes you'll get an indecent shield. But even here in this storage room, everything on the inside is shielded. Everything on the outside of the ship is shielded. Every block inside of the shield bubble is shielded. Now, some people say, oh, it would be cool to have, like, have this be the shield and you have to get inside of it to actually do damage. No, that's not how it works. Although that could be a cool mechanic, to have, like, a super shield around it. And then you had to get through to get to the interior shield. But that's not how it works. And you can have more than one shield bubble. All right. Well, thank you, Ice Queen. I believe your services here are complete, because we are going to come out here to the dark, empty void of unforgiving space, and we're going to build our own shield. Show you how it's done. All right. So first of all, we're going to press X to get a core. And let's get a little platform going here. Let's give a moderate-sized power. reactor power down here, and equal number of stabilizers. There we go. Now, first of all, you need a shield recharger. We're just going to put down one, pop it right there, and that pops up this bubble. So now my ship is defended because it is entirely inside this bubble. If I had a section that, say, went outside of the bubble, like, let's build another platform out here. Like, oh, I don't want it that tall. This platform here is not shielded. So this just has the armor value of the blocks to defend it. So if I was to come out and I was to, well, actually, no, it would actually hurt everything because I don't have any capacity. So while I'm shielded, there's no hit points to my shield. You need capacitors for that. So let's throw a capacitor or two down. And you notice you get HP capacity and it's charging. So let's come and get my pistol. I shoot here. The shield, it's red because it's not in good health. And you see it does the thing, oh, but all of a sudden here, I'm not getting my shield. In fact, if I whittle away at this, it should eventually, actually, wow. These blocks are stronger than I remember them. Pistols used to take these out. I haven't really played with handheld weapons since Quickfire came out. But you notice I'm not getting the shield effect. These blocks here are just tanking it with their own base armor. While here, over here, see, I'm getting the shield effect, so the shield is taking damage before the armor does. And there are exceptions to that, and we'll talk about them later. But basically, your shield is like extra HP. Alright, so when your shield is depleted, that is when your capacity HP hits 0, then the blocks will start taking damage. So let's talk about the capacity. So, where am I? Reactor rechargers do just what they say. They create recharge. They up the recharge or the regen. Capacitors do just what they say. They up the capacity or their general HP. So you're thinking, oh, wow, so I could get like this enormous capacitor. That still fits there. And a tiny little recharger, I could set it in space somewhere and let it charge up for 100 years. So then my million energy shield will be ready to go. Except, no, it won't. Because in fact, it popped up with a little pop-up saying, yo, dummy, that ain't gonna work. Yeah, there. Warning, a shield is discharging because its upkeep is bigger than the recharge. Come back over here. Its upkeep is 3,809. That means I must have 3,809 recharge to even begin to charge this capacity. So, out of curiosity, how much will that take? Well, each recharger block increases your recharge by 5. I believe each capacitor increases your overall capacity by 50. That's not true. 250, I'm sorry. So it increases it by 250. So capacitors are a little stronger than recharge blocks. Actually, they're a lot stronger. Oh, did you see the red there? Well, once we get the recharge up to something substantial, more substantial, we will talk about what you just saw. Oh, we're almost there. There we go. So this is roughly the size of reactor you would need to power that much capacity. And see, it's charging very slowly. It's charging at a rate of around 4,000 energy per second to 1,000,000. So our HP is at 47, 48. So it's working on it. You know what? That isn't actually recharging at 3,000 energy per second. It's going much slower. Anyway, but once it gets fully charged, you have 1,000,000 extra hit points before your armor starts taking damage. And also notice, when the reactor got larger, my bubble got larger. Because remember, the first bubble only went to, say, about right there or so. But as your reactor gets larger, and the reactor is the center, see where all these arrows from the capacitors are going? The arrows tell you which reactor block your capacitors are going to, or recharger block, I'm sorry. And that's roughly center, and the bubble is centered on the reactor, not on the ship. So let's try to get outside the shield bubble, and I'll tell you about second shields. We've already had a shield. Well, what about second shield? All right, so if you can have more than one shield. For example, we put another shield here. All right. So now this section here is shielded, but you notice you don't have any information about it. You have to click next or previous. Yeah, next or previous. Oh. Previous. Huh, sometimes when I click next, it doesn't cycle through. That's weird. And you'll have to figure, oh, yeah. If you look at it here with your extra data on, it tells you the shield origin. It's 3217 minus 160. Oh, that rounds it up to 161. But that's roughly the position there. So that's how you can tell the shields. And you'll see it has no capacity, no max capacity because it doesn't have any capacitors going to it. So if I put some here, you notice they have an arrow going saying, hey, we belong to this one. We put another here, they're going to go to that one. Oh, they don't go anywhere. And these go to that one. All right. So this group has two capacity banks. You can have 20 different groupings of capacitors going to a shield. The 21st will not go to the shield. So that's something to keep in mind. Usually I only have one or two. But if you're using capacitors to fill in empty spaces in your spaceship, sometimes it won't work properly. All right, so now let's do this. All right. Let's talk about overlapping shield bubbles. Let's move. Oh, good grief. There we go. Oh, these shield bubbles are overlapping, so therefore, this platform here in the middle, it must have double shields, right? Nope. It will take the largest shield first. So this platform actually goes with this shield because this shield is larger. Should this shield malfunction or be destroyed or die, then it'll be picked up by the secondary shield. So I hear you saying, all right, so then let's just build a second shield right beside our first one so we can monopolize on this. All right, so let's do that. Let's go right here. Let's build a second shield right here. Uh-oh, it's red. Why is it red? That is because if you have too much overlap, it disables it. So this red shield is disabled. See, we have 2 active shields, 1 inactive. In fact, it only lets us cycle through our 2 active shields. Huh. So this red shield is totally inactive. It doesn't turn on. I guess if this one gets entirely obliterated, this one would pick up the slack. But if your shields are too overlapped, they do that. But a little overlap is okay, and the little overlap is very subjective. I don't know if I can actually put another shield in here. There we go. Yeah. So now we have 3 of them in here, and this one is totally engulfed, so it is also inactive. And if you get a lot of these going, you can freak your computer out, because it says, what on earth do I do with all these circles and calculations? I guess you can make some sort of modern art with them as well here. F1G. Oh, I can't F1G, dummy, because that hides the hood. Okay. There you go. Here's a screenshot for you. Desktop wallpaper. And sometimes if you load old Power 1 stuff, you'll see all these red circles. And you'd say, what are these red circles? Well, they're shields inside shields, because in the old day, there was only one shield. So this bank of reactors, that bank of, rechargers, and that bank of rechargers would all go to the same shield, and it didn't have this area of effect. It would just cover any block on the ship. So it all fed to one shield, if you will. Now we have these areas of effect, and the shields that don't feed into each other, but we have individual shields. Why not just have the one big one? So that requires you to scale your shields up with your ship. If your ship is 100 meters long, you need a strong enough or a wisely shaped and placed enough shield to cover the whole thing. Or you could put 2 shields on. Personally, it's a personal preference. I like to use one shield to cover a whole ship. It's just easier for me to think like that, but you can have multiple shields and overlapping, the forward shields and the aft shields, or the port and starboard, or whatever works best for you. I think that's about it for shields. Okay. They're there, they add extra life. There are some workarounds, there's some ways I can make all of these shields totally obsolete, but that's for another day. I have been JW608. This has been StarMade, and I will do you cats later.